Hey everyone, welcome back to the Chinese Medicine Podcast. I'm here with Fu Gawain, and today we're going to give you a very special episode. I've never done this before, and I've been wanting to do this for ages. He's going to teach us some Kung Fu secrets. He's going to uncover some of these things for us, not really Kung Fu, but we're going to talk about Tai Chi, Qigong. He's going to show us some exercises that you can do easily in your home or wherever you are. So stay tuned. It's going to be a very exciting episode, and we're going to ask all the questions that you've been wanting to ask about, are those things real? Like, when what you see in the Kung Fu movies, are they really... Is that the real deal? And I'm so excited. Thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome.
And people have asked me about this on the channel, but I don't know anything about it myself. So we're going to talk about Qigong and Tai Chi. We're going to give you some practical stuff that you can do at home for yourself, start to learn it. So even if you've never done it before, and we're going to learn about Gawain's story, and he's got some really interesting stuff to tell us. And also just to help us keep healthy in whatever season of life you're in. This is so awesome. Welcome, Gawain.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So before we get started into the exercises and get our body moving, maybe we can just start with a little bit of your journey into Chinese medicine. And also what we're going to talk about today is how these other branches that people may or may not know about, that they are a part of the whole thing of Chinese medicine. So there's a branch or two branches of Chinese medicine that are more about like keeping your body healthy and disease prevention. One of those is Chinese diet therapy, and the other one is, like, some people call it Chinese exercise therapy or Qigong and Tai Chi. What is that? For people that don't know, what is Qigong? What is Tai Chi?
Well, first of all, the two words are anglicised versions of the actual Chinese. So Cantonese is my native language.
Right.
That was the first language I learned to speak. So when I say Tai Chi in Cantonese, it's Tai Gek.
Okay, Tai Ge.
Tai Gek. And when we say Qigong in Cantonese, it's Hei Gong. So you see Tai Gek, Hei Gong means it's completely two different types of movement. But when we say it in English, often people misunderstand and think, oh, is Tai Chi like Qigong? Are they part one, part two? No, they're completely different.
Okay, so is the Qi in Qigong and the Qi in Tai Chi, are they different characters?
They are. They're completely different characters.
I didn't even know that myself. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Right. Okay, and what about actually the practice of it and what you're doing? What is it?
So if I go back a step, so Qigong is the practice of Qi as in the energy, the vital force, and Tai Gek translates as an exercise about which we understand the creation of everything that exists in the universe. So when we look at the dictionary translation of Tai Chi, it says the supreme ultimate, right? Now, I teach about this all the time, and it's really only through an experience we kind of get the idea of why is it called supreme ultimate. And once we get there, then the penny drops. But prior to that, it's completely all academic. It's like, oh, really, supreme ultimate of what? Are we talking about cell structure, energy, all the rest of it? But it's not. It's much simpler than that.
You mean people can't really comprehend it until they're actually doing the practice
Correct.
of it, what that actually means?
Yeah, exactly.
How long would it take someone to be doing that practice before that penny drops, do you think?
I think for everyone it's different. One of the key ingredients are there has to be a clear theory in the practice, right? So back step, there are many different forms of Tai Chi. So my teacher would say, his teacher said, there is only one Tai Chi. There's just hundreds of interpretations of it. So in modern day, they are separated by name, and the names are either associated to the family name that are attributed to be the bearers of that form of Tai Chi, or it can be then related to the origin of when it came about. Like there's 24 form, 48 form, that's the number of movements, right? So there is actually only one Tai Chi. My take is there's only one Tai Chi,
Okay.
but there are different interpretations. Point one, it has to be a clear theory,
Right.
right?
So you can't just learn it, like think you're doing it and you're just learning it, doing it ad hoc, a video here, a video there.
That's right.
A bit of this, a bit of that, and
Yep.
you're not really going to...
No, there has to be a clear theory behind it. Second of all, there has to be complex movement. So one of the greatest challenges for, at least in my experience, developed people who come from a developed nation, okay, there's a real theme that comes with it, and that is, if I am doing this and it feels good, I must be doing it correctly. Well, the answer to that is no, that's not necessarily right. So complex movement is the second criteria. So one, clear theory, two, complex movement, and then the third is that it's actually got to hurt.
Okay, wow.
Not pain in that you're getting hurt doing it, but there has to be blood, sweat and tears. There has to be some real toil that goes with the practice in order for us to discover the message in the Tai Chi.
Right.
And all of these other health benefits, they are like a symptom of practice. Because remember, Tai Chi is the supreme ultimate.
Yep.
So the message of the supreme ultimate is in there, and greater flexibility, greater strength, better cardiovascular fitness, all of these things, they are byproducts of the practice. The practice is to get to why is it called the supreme ultimate?
Okay. That's interesting, yeah. Especially as a Westerner, people just want to get something. They're doing it to get something out of it. But you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, are you saying like you're doing it because you believe it's the right thing to do and you should be doing it, and then the benefits that you get are part of it, but that's not the reason why you do it? Sort of.
Yes,
part of it?
yeah, absolutely. No, I've been teaching a long time.
Yeah.
And what I see as a theme is that vast majority of us seek out an activity, right, such as Tai Chi or Qigong, for a particular idea. So it actually solves a problem in my head. And I get that idea because I have limited knowledge, but I've made sense of something, and I've made something mean. This is what I've seen, this is what I've heard, this is what I observed. I make it mean this, right? Mm-hmm. So we go out and we go, right, I have a high blood pressure, I problems with stress, I feel angry, discontent, I feel lonely because I'm not with people that think along the same lines as me, whatever it might be. So I'm going to go and find a group who like-minded individuals who are all doing this. The thing I want right now is I'm really intrigued by that. It's branded Tai Chi. So I go seeking for that, right? And then we start practicing. Now, what's really difficult is being able to separate what I believe is right and follow versus following and trusting the process. Okay? So one of the key constraints that I see people have is pain, right?
But when they're experiencing pain during the practice, they think, oh, this isn't right. I'm not doing, this isn't good.
Yeah, for most of us, we're told, and why I say developing nations is because, I'm born and raised in Australia. So I'm an Aussie boy, but born in a Chinese family. My first language was Cantonese and everyone spoke Chinese around me. And I've been traveling to Hong Kong and Macau since I was 3.
Yeah.
So I've got these two like opposing cultures.
Yeah.
But I can appreciate why someone who's born and raised in Australia or a country with similar culture would say, but if it hurts, it must be bad for me.
Yeah. And that's a really I'm glad you mentioned that because it's just so common, and people do think that. Yeah. It's a bit, maybe a little bit like what people might experience in acupuncture, where they think, if that's pain, like there shouldn't be any pain. There's a preconceived idea that, I'm just going to lie there peacefully and drift off into oblivion and not feel anything. And it's like there are some styles that you have to feel something for something to occur. Yeah.
So that's one constraint,
Right,
right?
okay.
Straight up. So if one is practicing or their teacher has said, I want you to do this and I want you to keep doing this until I return,
Yep.
right? That's really hard to do because all of a sudden it just gets really noisy in the head. Oh, this is hurting. I can't do this. I don't look like everyone else. This is not meant to feel like, I thought this is supposed to be enjoyable.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So what I'm saying is it's probably putting a lot of your viewers off about
No, I think it's needed. We need to have this conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
But the three simple steps are whatever it is that we approach. Like right now, personally, I'm taking up drumming.
Yep.
Right. It has to be a clear theory. There has to be a clear theory. Then there must be complex movements. Why? Because clear theory means I am following a particular path that's leading to a destination. Right? I can't just ad hoc hit the drums as I please.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm following a particular time, a particular style, holding my sticks a certain way. Same with Tai Chi. So it's leading me down that journey. 2, complex movements. Why? Because that's how it meaning the practice, requires all of me. That is it. So I am totally immersed in it, totally focused. There is mind, body, spirit, what mental, physical, emotional self, however we wish to describe it. But it's got me. It's got my attention because there's no space. I'm no longer attracting the noise from the outside. Right? There's no noise on the outside. No more emails, no more phones, no more to-do lists. It's like, this is it. I'm here for 90 minutes. This is what I'm doing. Why? Because it requires all of me just to be here.
Right.
Right? So complex in that sense. And then the hard work is the journey of discovery. So as I work hard at this, I discover things. Things start to unfold before me. Right? One of the most common responses I get, particularly from young people, is I say, right, let's do this now. We're going to do it 10 times. Now, I've learnt, right? I've learnt not till I come back now. It's like 10. They've done 10. I just stand there. I said, what are you doing? So I've done 10. I said, well, do 10 more. Oh, but you didn't say that. So, well, okay. So now I want you to do it until you really know it. Oh, that was a big mistake because I do it once now. And they go, yeah, I know it. I said, no, hang on. No, you've just done it once. Yes, but I know it. No. Okay. So now what I have to do is say, follow me. Follow me. And when they stop, I said, don't stop. Oh, but what? But it hurts, or but this, or but that. Okay, good. Now let's move through that. What I really want you to get is what it takes for you to move through all of those distractions. Because if what you really are chasing is the truth of, right, in the sense we're talking about Tai Chi, then it will require all of you to uncover the truth along this path towards that end. And that end might be to finish this set of movements or to get that level within the sequence, whatever it is, right? That's it. So to learn Tai Chi and to reveal why it's called the Supreme Ultimate is an experience. I actually can't describe it because then it's logical. And the logic then becomes the greatest distraction. So anyone who wants to learn Tai Chi, then you just have to try it. But it's going to be hard work. Like if you're going to come to a teacher like myself, it will be hard work. You know, the default will be, and I had this a couple of weeks ago, you know, like I didn't get that. And I said, that's right. He said, but you never told me. And I said, well, could it be that I've told you, but you never heard me?
You mean all this stuff you just said now, your student didn't get all that
exactly
as part of it. They thought, I should be feeling good doing this. There'll be no pain. And
No, it has to hurt. It is part of the experience.
And in your experience, because you've had, how many years have you been teaching Tai Chi and Qigong for?
Well, I started, may I give a bit of a background?
Yeah, let's do that. Yep.
So my grandmaster, Dr. Nat Yuen from Hong Kong, first brought Kung Fu and Tai Chi to Australia, to Brisbane in 1958.
Right. Wow.
And my father and a few young men, including my uncle, became his students.
Yep.
And then when my grandmaster graduated out of University of Queensland, became a doctor, he went back to Hong Kong to practice as a GP. The club then was in three people's hands, my father and two of his close mates, Dr. Tan and Dr. Dominic Er. Now, they're their titles because they are all Western GPs, right? Retired, of course. But I know them as Uncle Dominic and Uncle Tan because we're family.
Yep.
So then I started learning Kung Fu when I was 3.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's 1968. And I started my own school of Kung Fu and Tai Chi. Well, before that, 9 was when I started learning Tai Chi, when I was 9 years old. And then when I was 15, I started my own club under my father's wing. And then Dad retired and I took over the family business, and that's all I've done.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not all I've done. I've done other things like Chinese medicine as well, but that has been my consistent all the way through. So, I mean, that's a long time. It's 45 years in commercial practice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And teaching other people.
And teaching other people,
Yep.
but I've been in it since I was 3.
Yeah. What I was going to ask you was at that thing you were saying before about people not understanding all that part that you said is important. What kind of percentage of people that come to you, let's say in modern times now, would not persist with it because it wasn't something they thought that it was? Like they drop off, they won't even commit to the start of the process.
I'm aware that people must be able to be making informed choices, particularly when they're making a commitment to learn an art form, right? That there has to be transparency. So what I do to kind of to mitigate the surprise is I say to everybody after we've had conversations to even get to this point, it's like, oh, how about we do this foundation program for a month together, right? So it's twice a week, 90 minutes a session. That's 3 hours a week. We do it for 4 weeks, and then after 4 weeks, they can tell me whether they want to do this, and I can tell them whether I want to take them on as a student. So
that's a great way to do it.
It's mutual,
Yep.
right? Then it's mutual.
Yep.
And then let's just be sure that we know that there's some clear boundaries. It's for a year, right? Now, if the proverbial hits the fan because life's away and there's all surprises, then, let me know. And then a month later we can turn everything off, right? But commit to a year, 12 months. And there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be, like, I recently had a young lady say, like, freaked out, just came to 3 lessons and said, well, it's all too much.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, that's okay. Yeah. Let's talk about this.
Yeah,
Let's work through, because having value, see, this is a very Western thing as well, is that progress in a Western mind only looks one way. It's linear and it's up or forward. But from an Eastern mind, growth can be stationary, right? Growth is not a direction. Growth is a differentiation between yesterday or the previous moment and the current moment. In an Eastern mind, growth can be stationary. So growth is not about our position and whether we're gaining more, getting more. Growth is a differential between what it was to what it is. Now, even if I have greater awareness that this is really hard, that's growth, straight up.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Because now I've got a realization of what I don't have and what I do want.
Yeah, rather than in that Western mind, you're like, I should be better.
Yeah, I should be better.
I should be
Why
stronger.
can't I turn up
better.
to every lesson, right? If I'm going to pay for this, I should be coming twice a week. If I can't do it twice a week, then I shouldn't pay for it. Well, actually, learning has many layers, one of which is the face-to-face class.
Yeah.
That's only one. Yes, it's an important factor, absolutely, but it is only one. And so what I say to all my students is that learning is a community. It's like all minds coming together to support that each of us have individual goals, but we're going to do this together, even though we have individual goals, right? Which is a very different outlook because, you know, like I grew up in a regular school, and when you play sport, it's either solo, but it's the team winning,
Yep.
right? Or it's the team, everyone getting different positions, all playing to score the goal, right? So it's a very different mindset that I can come here just for me with you, as opposed to we both have to come here together for that, right? Which is very different. So
I can see that how this is going to be so good for people just to challenge you on all those things because there's not really that many things. Well, I don't know of that many things that would challenge people in those ways.
yeah,
Right? Like other maybe some religious practices and meditation type of practices, you know, maybe, I don't know, because I'm just hazarding a guess here, but like people I think we need that, but there's not many other things in life that do challenge us like that because we live in such a materialistic society where it's like, well, you've got to sell something. So if you don't give people what they want, you're not going to sell that thing. So everything's designed to give you what you want, right?
Yeah, true.
And you don't have to work. I mean, unless you're a business person, and any business person knows you've got to work hard to get what you're trying to get. But you're also in that mindset of, like you're trying to what is success or what is achievement. There's got to be a monetary value to it or some kind of KPI type of thing, something that I can measure, some measurable thing. And not that what you're saying isn't measurable, but it's a different thing that that would be very challenging for people.
Oh, it is. Yeah. It is. Yeah. It's sometimes challenging for me as well, you know. Well, I'm Aussie boy with the Chinese brain, you know. It's like it's challenging too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. And so you were saying three things, and I think we only got up to the second thing at the start, right?
What's that?
Did we? When you said for Tai Chi, you need.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So there's a clear theory.
Yep.
Complex movement.
Yep.
And then the final thing is Kung Fu.
Show me.
So now,
I know Kung Fu. I'm going to put that in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the Matrix. You need to end.
The Matrix. Enter the Matrix.
Is it a bit? Yeah. Explain that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll explain.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So before Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Right. Kung Fu, which is how it's spoken in Cantonese. Kung Fu has a completely different meaning. Right. So Bruce Lee, an amazing human being, and he put Chinese martial arts on the map.
Okay.
Right. And what went with that is that he coined the connection that Kung Fu and Chinese martial arts are the same thing. But in actual fact, Kung Fu doesn't mean that. Kung Fu just means hard work. Yep. So it's your work that you do to obtain.
Same word in Chinese, like Gung Zuo, like work. Like, is that the same Gung?
No, that's work.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually Gung Zuo is the actual work.
Yep.
Right. So we're taking Kung Fu.
Yep.
Right. Actually means the process of attaining a high level of achievement in your chosen discipline.
Okay.
So as a parent, my Kung Fu is to be the best parent I can, be present to my kids, and support them to be the best humans they can be. That's my work. Right. If I was a taxi driver, my Kung Fu is to be courteous, prompt, professional, clean car, safe driver, get my customers to their destination, right, as designed. If I was a doctor, you get the picture. Teacher.
Not punching on like Kung Fu. When you said Kung Fu, you need Kung Fu. It's like
so
not fighting.
Kung Fu actually, when we say Kung Fu, like yes, you know, like culturally, when I say Kung Fu, I close my fist, and I don't mean fighting. I mean I'm ready to put hard work into this.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So learning the drums, my Kung Fu is practicing my rudiments and practicing the songs. That is it. It's like keep practicing until like my arms are tired and I can't practice more, and then practice some more, right? And find another way of like learning those songs. So driving along, I'll use learning the drums because I'm a beginner at learning the drums, driving along, listening to my playlist and just listening for the drums, let go of the lyrics, let go of the rhythm guitarist and the bongos and all the rest of it. And just I'm listening for the kick drum and the snare and the hi-hats and what they're doing in the fills. And I'm just listening for it and I'm trying to find patterns. So it's quite different because I'm now not listening to music for music's sake. When I want to practice my drums, I know that my Kung Fu is to get to know what the original drummer who drummed to this song was doing.
Yeah.
Right. And to honor them, do the best thing I can do given the skills that I have. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's like there's a hard work in that. I find that
work.
like when I'm listening to, because I make music as well. People probably don't know that on this channel, but when I get a music back from my producer or something, and like sometimes I don't even want to listen to it because I know I know it's going to be hard work to actively listen to that, and to you got to really hear every little bit. That do I want that in there? Do I not want that in there? All that. Yeah, it's not just like, oh yeah, you're just going along singing a song, like it's there's that hard work in those things. Yeah, great.
So in our classes, for example, the face-to-face component is the practice, checking in, getting corrections, doing some more practice, getting to a point where you're ready to receive the next piece of information that will then unlock the way one moves to get closer to what they think is their ideal performance of their Tai Chi, right? Their own Tai Chi, right?
Yep.
So, when you go home, a lot of times people think, I'll do 2 lessons a week. I'll put my 3 hours aside, plus half an hour there, half an hour back. So that's my time in the week where I just focus on a Tai Chi. Well, that's really hard to get anywhere.
You got to do something at home every day.
Well, yeah, even if it is thinking about the Tai Chi or thinking about the conversations we had about that particular principle of Tai Chi. So
they've done that research. I don't know if you know about that Norman Doidge research, the guy that wrote that book, The Brain That Changes Itself.
No, tell me.
So they look at, like, this is the father of neuroplasticity, right, before people sort of knew it was a big thing.
Yeah.
And they gave people this 5-finger exercise to do, right, which is a piano exercise. So you do this like boom, 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 right? And one group had to do it, the other one just had to think about doing it.
Right.
But spend the same amount of time imagining as if they were doing it, but they weren't allowed to do it. And they measure the finger strength before and after, and then they had the people that didn't do it and didn't do anything. And the people that thought about doing it also had an increase in their finger strength.
Wow.
Not as much as doing it.
Yes.
But just the people that sat there and thought about doing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that's exactly what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah.
So science proves it.
Yeah. Oh, good. That's good. Good.
We don't need science to prove what we already know here, but
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. So that's what I say to all students who are learning is that, yes, the face-to-face component is absolutely necessary. And there's a lot of joy and a lot of satisfaction, meeting together to practice.
Yes.
Right. But also there has to be this revisiting throughout the week because life is complex, right? And there's 24 hours in a day of which we should be asleep between 8 to 10 hours of it. And then you're at work if you work conventional work, you're at work for another 8 hours. So you're going to have 8 hours left, right, in the day.
Yep.
Right. But that's 56 in a week. If you're going to come to class for 3 hours in that 56, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that is distracting us or pulling us away from the things we've accumulated in that 3 hours. So what I say is keep revisiting. Like I will give videos to my students. I'll take videos in class of me doing what it was they just learned to give them. Right. And then they go home and they're watching it because seeing it in the flesh and then going back over it and seeing it in an unlimited number of times because they can just keep replaying it is very beneficial.
Okay.
Right? Because they've seen it once in the flesh, but how many things can you capture? Right? But when you walk on it over and over and over again, it's like you start seeing more things. And I think all of that is Kung Fu. Like Kung Fu is not just the punching, kicking, the doing.
Yeah.
It's also the thinking. It's also the watching. It's the consideration, the contemplation. You know, everything.
It's interesting that you say that because it reminds me of when I learned Chinese medicine and I went to China, and I really, really, really wanted to learn Chinese massage, like Tui Na. And they sort of had a bit of it at the school where I was studying, and we did it, you know, we did your 8 weeks or whatever it was in your thing. And when you learn it there, especially it being in a environment where you don't know the language very well, so I was starting to pick up some Chinese by being there, being around for so long. And I was there for like 3 months, and the Tui Na was my favorite because there was 3 or 4 doctors in the same room doing it at once. So you're sitting there doing your thing, and the doctor would say exactly like what you said. He just said, firstly, it was roll a bag of rice into flour, right? That whole thing where they give you this bag of rice and they just say, right, you got to sit there and roll this, like you roll on this bag, right? And my teacher gave me the best advice when I went there. He said, he goes, if they ask you to do anything, even if it sounds ridiculous or you don't want to do it, he goes, if you don't do it, they won't give you anything else. And you'll be sat in the corner and you won't learn anything. And I don't know if he said exactly like that, but something like that. And I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, great. All right. So they give you this right, and he showed me a few things, and he's like, sit there. He's like, do this. And so I sit there. And, you know, what was great is there was lots of stuff going on. So you're doing this monotonous one movement, but you're watching all these other people doing it, and you're watching their posture, and like that's actually helping you learn, watching their posture, or watching them. Oh, that's how they, you know, and you're watching, and you just don't get that in a Western course. It just doesn't work like that. Like you might have that in a class a little bit, but you're not watching all these people that know what they're doing. You're watching all these other students that don't know what they're doing, right? And maybe a teacher that does, and whatever. Anyway, and then then he would come back at the end of the day, like this, and he just left. This is the guy that was supposed to be training me, and he was like the head of the department, so he would go off and do his thing, and I'm just sitting there, and there's all these people in this room all day long, did not speak any English at all. So I was like, I better not stop. I better keep going. And then I'm thinking, has he forgotten about me? Like, what's going to happen? This is like day one. I'm sitting there, I'm doing this, and he comes back at the end of the day, and he goes, and he can see that I've been doing it, and he goes, okay, and it's like nearly 5 o'clock, so it's like 9 to 5, and he's like, are your hands sore? I was like, yeah, they are. And he goes, all right, go home, soak your hands in hot water, and come back tomorrow.
Cool.
And and the bag had blood on it because I was rubbing it so much, not a lot, but like, you know. And then anyway, so then the next day, and then after 2 days, he gave me something else to do. Like he was like, do this, and he's like, every patient that come in, I had to just do this 1-finger digitation on their little 1 point on the kidney 1 on their foot. And then after a week, like I think obviously this was sped up. I'm sure in real life they make their other students do it for a lot longer, the same thing. But then he was like, okay, now you can do this on the patient. Now you can do that. Now you can do that. But you do learn a lot by just watching other people, don't you? And you can mimic that movement, and you can see. And that's the one thing because I was really into doing Tui Na then, all the doctors that I was studying with said, well, if you really want to be good at Tui Na, you need to do Tai Chi. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to. Just that's the one thing I've never done. Anyway.
So here's a challenge.
Yeah. So there we go. Anyway, but yeah, no, I don't do Tui Na anymore. But
was quick.
It's what?
That was quick.
I don't do no.
Well, my teacher said if I wanted to do Tui Na.
No. As in I did Tui Na for 10 years.
Yeah,
I was very good at Tui Na. Like probably was one of the things I was the best at. But like now I don't do too much. I don't do any Tui Na on patients now because I want to do more herbs. But
so now you don't have to do Tai Chi.
I don't have to do. I'm out. But the parallel is there because you can see it with the posture. Is what I was saying. Like that's. You can see the movement, like it's all part of your whole body movement, and it's part of like not being tired and not doing your body a disservice. So when I've trained other students, they'll be like, "Oh, my hand's hurting," like, you know, and it's like, well, there is an element of like what you said where it's got to hurt you a little bit, but it's also like you've got to be in the right posture, and then eventually you're going to build the strength up, and your body will will go along with that, right? Mm-hmm. And I was really worried because I had a really bad wrist injury before I'd gone, well, not an injury, but like what they call RSI, because I used to play the violin a lot before that. And my wrist would always get inflamed. And I was thinking, I really want to learn this. Is my wrist going to cock up in this thing? Is it going to, and it didn't. It just, it was all good.
That's good.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, sidetrack.
That's okay. No problem.
Thing. Yeah, but you were talking about watching people and the importance of showing them the video and I think it's so cool what you're teaching people. It's obviously not just the act of the thing, and that would be what people think. Oh, I need to do some exercise. I'll go and learn Tai Chi, or I'll go and do this, or But they're getting more than they bargained for when they signed up, obviously.
Yes.
So just sort of maybe briefly explain what's the difference between Tai Chi and Qigong then.
Okay. So for me, in my experience, Qigong is a particular exercise, like it's chopped down, concentrated, I would say, to achieve the one outcome, and the one outcome is the realization of Qi.
Okay.
Right? Whereas Tai Chi is the realization of supreme ultimate. Right? So they're two different journeys because they're pointing at two different things. Are they better or worse? They're not. They're just different. And they are related, but they are not codependent in any way. So one could practice Qigong without Tai Chi and vice versa and achieve benefits. You can do both, right? And I've had students that have done both and will incorporate both into into each other, right, when they practice. Qigong. So I'm going to classify it into two groups.
Okay.
There is the woo-woo Qigong. Oh, I hope I don't upset people by saying this.
Like the healing arts of Qigong, or you mean like Falun Gong woo-woo?
No, woo-woo as in marketing Qigong. So actually it's not going anywhere. It's just exploiting
mystical movements.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of seem like you're doing something.
Exploiting the ignorance of people.
Okay.
Right? So that's one type of Qigong, and I've seen a lot of that. And then the other Qigong, I would say, is real Qigong, but based on the principles of Qi, realization, and although the practitioner doesn't need to understand what Chinese medicine is, they do need to at least accept that there is an energy inside the body that is called Qi, and that it flows along paths known as meridians or channels, and that the unimpeded flow of this Qi is how we remain in the best health that human can be in, right? And that when there is a blockage of this Qi, then there is discomfort and dysfunction, right? And that's it. If they can get that as a concept, then they're on the right path. The other extremists are those who are looking for something else that is magical about Qigong. Like, here's one. In martial arts, very common that you can practice Qigong so that you are impervious to pain and punching. So someone can punch and kick you. I've even had martial artists say that I've got such good Qigong that you can't even cut my skin with a blade.
Oh, yeah. You see that in the Kung Fu movies, like really massively
I've seen
blown out
it in
of
real
proportion.
life, right? Not just in Kung Fu movies.
Does it, has it happen where they could be cut?
No. Oh, yeah, of course they get cut. Of course they they're human, right? But my point is that they're exploiting people through this magical experience, right? And there's always going to be that element, right? If we accept that yin yang, there's a possibility that yin yang could actually be true, meaning that there are always going to be the people who are in the white and those in the black, and that white and black are becoming each other, and you're always going to have genuine.
You have that in every profession, in every part of life.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah. So I'm not going to talk about those guys in that Qigong, but in Qigong, as in what it's, I believe it was meant to be for, and it's meant for us as a method or tool to help maintain free flow of our qi, right? So let's not wait. So from a Chinese medicine perspective, it's prevention rather than cure. Don't wait until there's pain and discomfort in the body. Just keep practicing this to keep the flow going. And when there's a blockage, you'll probably find that you'll have enough to clear that blockage because it hasn't become a full-blown issue in the body.
Right. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Similar to how people are supposed to use acupuncture
Yeah.
if they're seeing someone preventatively, except you're not doing the practice on yourself.
That's
you're
right.
actually, someone has to treat you in a way,
Yeah.
but it's like keeping the free flow.
correct. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
What about the treatment of people with Qigong? Have you ever...
Using Qigong.
Yeah.
So I actually only did it yesterday. So had a patient come in and the conversation led to he had an accident, right? And he felt as he was using a towel to dry his back, he felt a snap.
Yep.
Right? This is 12 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Felt a snap,
Yep.
and instantly his left arm was numb. He couldn't lift his arm, and so on and so forth. He's got muscle deterioration and all sorts of things. So physiotherapy, et cetera, and it's manageable. And he does a lot of work at the gym to just keep that left arm going, but he still has stuff going on. Anyway, so I used Qigong yesterday. I didn't do any Qigong. I led him to do the Qigong.
Okay. Yeah.
But I used my hands to help him focus his attention
Okay.
around the area that the blockage is at.
Yep.
And so first thing we do is find where the numbness is, right? Found the numbness, hold, okay, follow me. So without him knowing he was doing Qigong.
Right.
And fundamentally, the first step of Qigong is realization.
Okay.
So you focus. You have to bring your focus to one point and one point alone. Now, if you need help, then that's what others are for, right? When we can focus to that one point, then we're encouraging the body, and it's really important at that point that we are able to, just like the Kung Fu before and the complex movement, right? The same principle, clear theory, complex movement, Kung Fu. So clear theory, this is what we've got. I've had 12 years of this. All right, we're poking around, right? Good. This is what it's all about. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Are you okay with that? Yes. Do you want to come with me on this? Yes. This is what I'm going to do next. Got it. All right. So now it's focus. Oh, that's hard because there's so many thoughts going through one's mind because this is so different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's not a physio doing things with your body and you hear nice pipe
Just lying
music
back
in the
and doing
background.
nothing.
Yeah. It actually is, he has to do the work.
Yep.
And then the focus of how long we do it, right? Beyond what one would normally call a reasonable amount of time. That every person's different. So for him, it was like 6 minutes. That's about it. And then I use my chi to feel when he's leaving me, right? When his attention's gone,
Oh, okay.
right? So then I knew and I could feel, and he could feel, his body moving on the inside. So in that 6 minutes, as he was doing Qigong, he doesn't even know that that's what he was doing. I never told him afterwards either. It was just like we're on a path of getting well. So this is what we're going to do. And when you go home, I said, when you go home, I gave him some exercise to do at home. This is what he had to do. But I could feel his body moving. Now, it wasn't anything structural that was moving. It was his chi that was moving. So it literally went clonk.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, I could feel that. No, none of us moved. I didn't move my hands. He didn't move. He was sort of kind of slunched over my consultation table, right? And clonk, it happened.
Yeah.
I said, okay, let's keep focus. Just keep thinking about that, right? And then eventually it was like, oh, he's gone. Okay. So then I let go. Now, he did Qigong, but he didn't know.
Right.
Did he have any prior practice? No. Is he going to do it? No. We might do it again, next time he comes in. But that wasn't the purpose. The purpose was for him to realize that there is this chi, he has control over it, and that it's real. Like there's no magical thing going, woo-woo thing going on. He actually felt it, right? And there was no, you'll feel this. No, I didn't say anything. It's like, just focus on that. And what happens will happen. So when he goes home, I said, get a heat pack, warm it up once a night, lean back on a chair, put the heat pack where you think the pain is, lean back on it and focus on it until such time you feel like you don't want to focus anymore, and then let it go.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
And so he will continue to heal himself just through that practice, along with herbal treatments and so on. That's it. Now, that's enabling himself to heal. Now, is that magical? No. Does it mean if it required surgery, he wouldn't get it? No, I'm not advising any of that. I'm saying you get the best of both medicines, but there's a lot you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
Right? There's a great deal you can do for yourself, which means we don't have to be reliant upon and lie back and wait for it to happen to us. We can actually be proactive, keep ourselves in wellness. You know, one of the first things was told to me as a child, this is before I was learning Chinese medicine, but as a child, as a practitioner of Chinese martial arts, and that it is based on the principles of Chinese medicine,
Yep.
is the first assumption is that you are well. The first assumption is that you are safe.
Yeah.
The job of Chinese medicine and of Chinese martial arts is to maintain that. Maintain your wellness, maintain your safety. It's not about winning fights. It's not about winning trophies. It's actually maintaining your wellness.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Yeah.
So that actually is much harder to do
Yeah.
than the trophy, the accolade, or the win,
Yep.
because all of those things are blips. They're just blips. If I want to maintain wellness, that's a discipline,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And we're at the crossroads at every moment socially. How do we maintain that discipline? There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot. You know, you go out with friends and straight up, there's already challenges right there. How long do you go out for? How's my body going to feel? What am I going to eat? What am I going to drink? You know,
Yeah.
there's all these challenges.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right. Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's good to have something like a structure in place. Some people just don't have any structure at all. Like in their life, they don't have anything, and so they're just at the mercy of whatever happens to them. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so the Qigong, like you see them going like this and pushing the Qi on them, and that. What do you reckon about that? No. Is that a bit woo woo?
Yeah, it's woo woo. Yes,
right. That
yeah,
whole
definitely.
woo. They're moving.
Yeah.
They're moving them with the Qi and all that.
Well, Qi, if we're talking about
Like project that, like
projection,
they're projecting their Qi out of the body and making them do that stuff and all that. Like, not that I've ever seen that in real life.
yeah, I have. I think there's a line that gets crossed, and that is the line is about whether there is some payback, right? So what I've seen is teachers of martial arts in China, right? It just happened to be like this, saying that their chi is so strong that they can knock someone over, and they would go like this and then knock someone over. Okay, and this other person will fall over. All right. So is that hypnosis? Is that a setup? Who knows? It doesn't really matter. But the line gets crossed when it says, if you want to learn how to do that, you pay me 1,000 yuan.
Right.
Okay, so now the line's crossed.
Yep.
Okay. So
It's like a party trick.
Yeah, well,
Well,
that's a judgment of it, but
Yep.
yes, you know, like there's the line crossed. If you can actually do that, fabulous. If that is part of entertainment or is this part of some bigger picture, fabulous. But the moment you ask me the question, do you want that? And if you do, you can pay for it, then I think that's where the line is crossed. Okay, so I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying cross the line. and there's something wrong with that for me from a ethical point of view. So Qi, how I've learned about Qi and Qigong is that it was never. I'm going to say something, and what I was going to say is it was never meant to be. But then I say to myself, were you around those 1,500 years ago when this was? Well, the answer is no, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't.
We don't really know a lot of the things we think we know about
exactly
ancient Chinese medicine.
Yeah. So I won't. I'll retract that statement. I can't. I think the best use of Qigong is to improve my own health, and if I can do that really well, the knowledge of Qigong practice can improve the health of my immediate family. And if I can do it even better than that, better meaning like, a greater ability to articulate, to pass on the knowledge and the awareness, then my immediate community, and my immediate community is my students at the academy, right? So for me, that's the ultimate goal. I believe that it's the ultimate goal of any healthcare practice is that sort out yourself, right? It's like first aid, right? Keep yourself safe first before you go and rescue someone else, right? Yep. Sort out yourself, sort out your immediate beloveds, and then if you can do more than that, great, fabulous, right?
Well, that's the premise of Chinese medicine.
It is.
It's meant to be for yourself and then your family and then your community.
That's it.
And I've sometimes told that to my students before and said to them, look, it's actually the opposite of what they teach you if you're learning Western medicine, because they'll be like, well, you can never treat your family if you're Western, if you like as in, won't go there, but it's like, that's unethical. And it's like in Chinese medicine, it's like unethical if you don't look after your family.
Yeah, exactly.
You're supposed to, and if you're not looking after yourself, well,
how do you look after your family?
Exactly, but what kind of all the practice of Chinese medicine, like you're just not as good a practitioner if you're not well yourself.
Yeah,
right. So the best is that you can be, right? Like I've got colleagues that are, they've got something, they couldn't have avoided. Something's happened. They still, they can still practice. But it is part of also having a sound mind, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, all the stuff you're talking about with all that discipline and all that is like part of, you've got to be able to, otherwise you're not on the top of your game to do your work.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Qigong for me falls under the category of healing arts, like Chinese medicine, and therefore that's what it's meant to be. Now, does it mean that in a Kung Fu class or Tai Chi, well, less Tai Chi but more Kung Fu, that I wouldn't point out to a student that if you were to strike someone because they're striking you and you need to stop them, if you were to strike them in the arm, if you struck here, it's very different to if you struck there. Feel that? And they go, oh, what's that? And I said, well, that's an acupoint, right? Now, if you strike that, people might say that you might be able to look up Google, like, strike them here and they stop breathing. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't be striking them to make them stop breathing because ultimately it's about my safety. It's not about beating that person. But I do know that if I push on that, it's much more sensitive if I push somewhere else. So if you hit that, particularly if your enemy is like this mountain of a person and there's 3 more of them coming. And you need to get out because your beloveds who are with you cannot look after themselves. So it's like you need time. So let's do that, make them go, and then out you go. Right? Which I think, okay, so that's understanding a little that, yes, there is a qi circulation that flows through these channels. If I strike that channel to be more sensitive, gives me more time, out I get. Right? But then there are practitioners around the world that go, if you do this, then 15 minutes later they'll drop dead and it won't be your fault.
Yeah, like you see that portrayed in a lot of those Kung Fu movies, right? Where they're like, tick, tick, tick,
yeah.
stuck in their little...
Yes.
Is that a thing or is that
like Mr. Spock.
a bit of bull dust.
No, it's
You know,
bull
where
dust.
they're like,
That's- yeah, no.
I used to watch a lot of those Wong Fei Hong movies, and
yes.
there would be like the guy, the student would be attacked, and then he would be like, "Help me, I'm stuck," and the other guy would have to come and unstuck him.
Yeah.
You know, obviously they're playing it out.
They're playing it up.
Yeah,
And like that's where the line is. Like,
Yeah, okay,
as you were
there's the
mentioning
line.
it, I could see the line, and that is yes. If you hit someone right really hard here, like, and they go, oh, that really hurt, and they're frozen. Yes, got it. But if you say now you need me to unstuck you, I'm the antidote as well as the poison.
Yeah.
It's like, well, there's the line. You just crossed the
Well,
line.
it was like his friend had to come and unstuck him because the evil guy had stuck him.
Yeah.
Right? And there's that classic one in that Kiss of the Dragon where, you know, you've probably seen that Jet Li movie where he does something in the neck and the guy just like explodes.
Yeah. No, exactly.
To clear that up for us all.
Yeah.
Come back next week for part 2 where we watch a guy's head explode. No, so that's not a. I never thought it was. It's the same as like with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where they were like fly. You know, they fly across the thing and they fantasize these things, right? Like, I like to believe in the possibilities of the human spirit.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So that's really interesting. And I like that idea that you talked about with the Qigong, where you're getting the patient to sort of like they're engaging in something that without if you told them, oh, we're going to get you to do some Qigong, they'd be just like, oh, I don't want to do that mystical thing, or you know, that like there'll be all these preconceived ideas and maybe they wouldn't be able to do it, but you've just basically showed them that they can do it. And it's really like focusing their intention into a spot.
Yeah.
And it's like we don't need all these, because there's a whole hundreds of conversations you could have about what is Qi, right? Even there's different translations of, it's not necessarily even a mystical force, right? People have got that preconceived notion that's, you know, like in the Han Dynasty, one of the translations of Qi is air, right? So it's like,
well, the character does mean air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a fart. So I like to throw a few jokes on this channel.
Nice. Nice.
Anyway, so yeah, all right. So what we're going to do as well is Fu Gawain's going to show us a couple of cool things that you can do. Now we don't want to not now that you've given us all that explanation. Like I feel bad that asking you to do that now because
oh no, not at all.
I don't think not the show it like now show us the coolest thing ever. But just for people that are interested in doing this and they kind of want to like do maybe show us something that people could do as a practice at home to just learn about it, to get exposed to it, to get interested in it. And the other question I want to ask you maybe before we do that is just like if people are interested in doing this, because people watch this channel, most of the people watching this channel are in the US, UK, all over the world. How would they roughly go about getting started? Like finding a teacher that's going to teach them, that's right for them, that's, you know, and all that sort of stuff. Like it's not just like they do want to do it properly, like what you said. Like how would they go about that?
That's challenging because when I seek out a teacher, this is my process. The first thing that I measure is whether the teacher I am with has the same ethical and moral standards as I do. That's one. So we're going to relate. Basically, we're going to relate. The second is, and this is the hard part, right? Whether what it is that they have to offer is what it is that I am looking for, right? That's a very hard one.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? Very hard.
That is really hard.
Very difficult. So what I generally do is talk a lot, like have conversations with people that potential teachers that I want to learn from, and figure out in the conversations whether I'm going to relate to them and whether what it is that I'm looking for is what it is that they're really good at. And like if I can't in a conversation relate to them, then even if they're really good, I'm not going to get it because they probably there's a communication breakdown in some part of it, right? And then, of course, the other practical thing is whether, logistically it's going to work. And of course, living in Australia is very different to living in Europe, and even you're in a different country, but you're much closer, and cost, because that's a reality as well. Whether I think free is a problem. So don't ever learn anything for free, because if the person who is teaching values themselves at no cost, then I think there's an issue straight up, right? So what someone is charging and what someone is able to pay will eventually have to match up somewhere. That's one of the elements.
And like you said, you'd hope it's some kind of commitment, a lifelong commitment, hopefully, some kind of commitment. Like, so you don't want it to be out of your budget to the point where you can't commit. Like, that's that means you can't keep doing it. You want to be able to, you want it to be something where you can.
That's right.
Make it part of your life.
Correct.
Yeah.
And sometimes in these sort of practices, it's not like in Tai Chi and Kung Fu where, frequent revisiting every week for years on end is going to get you to a certain point. Things like Qigong could be, like depending on what it is that the person is looking to achieve themselves, learn, could be I'm going to learn it for a month or two and then I'm going to go away and keep practicing and have a wonderful relationship with my teacher and respectful and, mutual, and then come back again a year or two later and do some more. Like lifelong learning doesn't always look like we're living under the same roof.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So it really is. It does come back to what is the purpose, right? Why am I learning this? Why do I want to take it up? And how does that look in my life? Like in my life routine, how does that look? And then who do I seek out? Now, if some of your viewers are those like myself believe in the universal power, right? Something will happen. Because if you put it out there, then you'll start noticing. Yeah. Right?
It's called your reticular activating system in your brain. Okay. It's a thing.
Right.
Right? So when you want to buy a car, you think about that car and then suddenly you see that car on the road all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the part of your brain that's activated.
Okay.
When you have that thing.
Cool.
So it's like as if it comes, it will come. You'll notice it more than.
Yeah.
Like that sign could have been at the shopping centre for years and you've never noticed it, but now that you're thinking about it, you suddenly know. And you're like, there's a Qigong teacher there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So that's how I'd approach it.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. And where do you see this fitting? Because you've had so much experience in all different areas of the branches of Chinese medicine. So for people that don't know, there's like acupuncture, there's herbs, and those are more the treatment branches. There's Tuina, Chinese massage, which can be treatment and has that crossover towards the Tai Chi, Qigong stuff as well. And then you've got the Tai Chi, Qigong branch and the Chinese diet therapy branch. Like, there's things where I can say as a acupuncture herbalist kind of thing, this is better for this is better for that. What are the things that, or the thing that you see that, let's say, practices of either Tai Chi or Qigong bring to the table that the others don't bring for people?
Prevention.
Yep.
So Tai Chi and Qigong will help us sort out the problems that we don't know that are rearing their heads. So prevention first. And the second would be the follow-up. So after one's had acupuncture, one's changed one's diet, etc., then still maintaining a Tai Chi or Qigong practice would be like, I'm at the beginning of another cycle now. So now it's preventative, right? So you can do it before there's a problem. You can do it to assist with the recovery of an issue,
Yep.
and then it eventually becomes before the next problem again, right? So the recovery ends up becoming prevention because your body gets well, and then it goes into another cycle.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I see it, and this is the hardest part about the practice, is that it makes perfect sense that we do it all the time, but it is so hard as humans for us in modern world to be able to do it all the time. So, that's the awareness becomes then like our alarm signal, right? It becomes that, I'm feeling quite different. Like, gee, I've had a really busy month. I think I've dropped my Tai Chi or Qigong practice. I think it's time to pick it back up again and then slowly bring it back into the routine before you get to the point where, right, I've discovered this in my last blood tests. Wow. Okay. So now I've got to go on to treatment, and I've got to, and it becomes a much bigger issue.
Yeah.
So,
and that's so true. Like, it's the same for other branches of Chinese medicine where it's about prevention. Like, you can never measure that. You can never know what you haven't gotten. You don't know what diseases you didn't get because you ate a healthy diet those years.
That's it. Yeah.
You did all that practice.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Alrighty. So, we're going to get Sifu going to show us some cool stuff. And,
All right. So this first exercise we're going to do is seated. Now, if you want to, you can actually stand or squat, depending on the strength of your legs and the wellness of your balance. Now, I've got my hands out in front of me. All I want you to do is relax your shoulders and take all your attention to your shoulders. And now move all your attention to the top of your head, the roof of your head. And have your head reach up towards the ceiling. And now take all your attention to your fingers. Now we're going to do a deep breathing exercise. This is Qigong. I want you to imagine between your hands that you're holding a balloon. And now a big deep breath in, pull this balloon towards you. In through your nose. Now lift the balloon up over your head. Follow your hands with your eyes. Breathe out. Pause at the top. Breathing in. Breathing out. Hands in, breathing in. Focus on the balloon. Reaching up, breathing out. Pause. Hands apart, breathing in. Hands together, breathing out. Three more times. Hands in, breathing in. Raising up, breathing out. Pause. Hands apart, breathing in. Hands together, breathing out. Two more. Hands in, breathing in. Raising up, breathing out. Pause. Hands apart, breathing in. Hands together, breathing out. One more time. Hands in, breathing in. Raising up, breathing out. Hands apart, breathing in. Hands together, breathing out. And now for the next part, I just want you to rub your hands together till your palms are warm. And then, like you're washing your hands under a tap, get in behind your fingers and thumb. And now, with warm hands, rub across your eyes and eyebrows 3 times. And now over your head, behind your ears and around your chin. And again, over your head, behind your ears and around your chin. And last time, over, around, together. Very good. So the next exercise I'd like to share with you is around a principle of stretching. You can do this at any part of the body as a principle. The way we should stretch, rather than trying to pull, is to actually release. So I'm going to do this exercise based on the lower back, because that's, of course, one of greatest issues we have in the modern world is lower back pain. And I'm going to show you, I haven't stretched yet, so this is how it is for me, and I'll lead you through this. So I want you to find a comfortable position with your legs apart. Make sure there's nothing around you that's going to impede your body moving, and if you fall over, don't fall into something. So just get a safe space around you. My feet are comfortably shoulder width apart. I'm going to turn side on so you can actually see what's going on. All right, so all the way through this exercise, I'm going to keep my legs straight. Of course, you bend your knees as you need to. So let's go down together and just find the point where we stop. Now, this is where I've stopped. My hamstrings are tight. My lower back is tight. Now, I want you to think about releasing tension. So take all your attention to your shoulders and relax your shoulders. Relax your neck. Let the tension go in the neck. Now release the tension in your lower back. Go back to the shoulders and the neck. Return to the lower back. And now think about your hamstrings and calves. Release the tension in your hamstrings and calves. Shoulders, neck, lower back, hamstrings and calves, shoulders, lower back, hamstrings, calves, shoulders, lower back, hamstrings, calves. And you can see how far now I've been able to stretch. This is all about releasing tension. Breathing the tension out now. Now we're going to come up together. First, what I want you to do is put your hands on your knees. Bend your knees so you're lowering your bottom towards the floor, keeping your head the same height. Come into a low squat, and now bring your shoulders so that they're above your hips. Now push up on your knees and your legs to raise the body. There you are.
Awesome. That was wonderful. Thank you so much for showing us all those exercises.
You're welcome.
And those, the Qigong exercise. Great to have something to do when you're sitting down. It's too bad you couldn't do that on the plane.
You need to buy 2 other seats.
Yeah, but you could do that at the airport. I was just thinking that when you were doing that, because like it's great to have something that you can just do no matter what the circumstance. Awesome. And so when let's say people are lucky enough to be in Perth,
yes,
and they want to come and train with you, how can they find you?
Well, jingmo.com.au, gingmo.com.au.
Yep.
And we're in West Leederville.
Awesome. I'm going to put Fu Gawain's details down at the bottom of this video, wherever you're watching it. But if you're on Apple or Spotify, they don't really have that. It's not as easy to have that accessible. So gingmo.com.au. Yeah, so gingmo.com.au. You can find that there. If you've been watching this far, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe and share the show with everyone you know. And we'll see you again on another episode soon. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
From Gingmo Academy, right? Let me do that again.
Okay.
I'm so happy to have Fu Gawain from Fuck's sake. Jingmo, isn't it? Jingfu. It's made up a new business name for you. I don't know where that came from. Did I say that the first time as well? No.
You said Gingmo.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll do it again. Hey everyone, welcome back to Chinese Medicine Podcast. I'm very excited to have you with us, and I'm even more excited to have Fu Gawain from Gingmo Academy here to teach us. Jingmo. Fuck's sake. We'll just do that bit. It'll be a good blooper at the end.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, here we go.
I just won't say your business name.